Oh, I was muted. All right, thank you so much for for that information. All right, yeah, welcome again to another edition of the Variety Friday. It has been an awesome time every Friday, and today, trust me, we have a wonderful speaker in our midst, person of Josephine. She'll be taking us on the series this evening, and please confirm if you can hear me. A reaction, please, if you can hear me. A reaction or a message. All right, it's okay. So while we wait for others, yeah, thank you. So while we wait for others, we just I want everybody to be carried along on today's Variety Friday because it's a key, especially for cohort 2 students. Especially for cohort 2 students, just do this. I'll be sending out a poll. It's about our last Variety Friday. So you just rate the Variety Friday of last week. It's a poll from 1 to 5. How was the Variety Friday last week? Okay. All right. I want everybody's inputs for last week. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, that's nice. So we have 4.6 rating for last week. We are hoping that today's on will give us 5 points. Okay. We are still waiting for others. We know we will get up to at least 100 plus. I just want everybody to be carried along, especially for the cohort 2. If you're in cohort 2, please just pay attention to everything that will be said today, especially for cohort 2. We are talking about Agile team, and you know that we already said this before, but just to bring it to our notice again, every cohort we are taking 200 students that will be working on different projects. We'll be adding them to a group so they will experience firsthand the Agile team, where they'll be working together in a group, in a team, building different projects. So they'll be splitted into different groups. And each group will be building a portfolio project, either a web application, something, but all the teams, we have 6 tracks for this program. We have the product managers, we have the product designers, we have the data scientists, we have cybersecurity, front end and back end. So all of these people, all of these track, we are going to be grouping them into one, right? About 10 to 15 person in a group to actually build a product. So that's why it's very important that we are bringing all of this series on our Variety Fridays, so we can empower you people. You need to know how to work in an Agile team to build products, right? So that's the reason why we are here. So not to waste much of our time, I will just to introduce our speaker so she can just start. For those that will not get this beginning part, can always watch it after the section. But trust me, live sections are very much better than going back to rewatch it. So that's why we encourage us to always join our meetings early. All right, so here with me is Josephine Bosah. She's our speaker for today. Trust me, she has a lot of experience when it comes to the topic that we are about to be she's going to be teaching today. She has a lot of experience, as you can see, 8 years of experience. And trust me, it's just not, she doesn't have just experience on what's it called, on Agile or as a Scrum Master. She has vast experience. She has done a whole lot in the industry, so she has vast experience. So we all want to learn from that experience. Josephine has I've known Josephine for a long time. She has been a close friend, but she has been doing very well in the industry. So we all are here to learn from that bank of experience and our technical know-how in this industry. Josephine, you're welcome. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? Okay, so when you were introducing me, my head was just I was like, this person. Okay, guys, I want to believe my class is full of energy. Let me start with that, okay? And then I want to believe that everyone in this class is a Nigerian because I'll be putting a lot of Nigerian lingua into what I'm saying. And if you're not a Nigerian, just indicate so that I would explain anything I say in the Nigerian lingua. So it's fine. Okay, so AB has done all the introduction, all that there is to say about me. And I'm so excited to always talk about Agile or Scrum. First thing first, I want to know, is everyone hearing me? So I would need a thumbs up. My class is always, always very engaging. So I want to get that feelers that everyone is hearing me. So if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. I really love to see that. And I don't want to leave anyone behind. So let's just get that feelers that, well, okay, I see that. I see that. Awesome. Pretty good. All right. So I will go ahead to share my screen. So while I'm, presenting, I'm going to be saying a lot of things. I'm going to, be shedding more light on Agile. And one of the best way I've known how to learn over the years is that when I want to learn something new, I sort of keep my whatever knowledge I previously had aside so that I can, go up as much as what I'm learning, right? So I know a lot of us have come across the word Agile. Some of us have worked in an Agile environment. Some of us are currently working in an Agile environment. That's great. Okay, so but today we're going to deep dive into what we need to talk about. Let's look at working in an Agile environment as a whole. So if you can see my screen, then I'll need like 5 people. So let's say 5 people on mute because I can't see my screen to see that I'm getting in thumbs up or you're dropping a message. So if you can see my screen, I want 5 people to unmute and say, hey, Josephine, I can see your screen. So let's do that. So who can see my screen?
We can see your screen. They can't.
Oh yeah, they can unmute to the Q&A. Okay, so I'm just gonna write with you, AB. Okay, so great thing that you can see my screen. So today we want to talk about how to work effectively in an Agile team. The key word here is effectively. Anybody can work in an Agile team. Well, how to work effectively in an Agile team is what we want to see. I'm looking forward to the Q&A session. So if you have any question, please do not miss out. Do not miss out. Do not even blink as to your question so that I can answer them when we are done with the session. So the first thing we want to look at is Agile. What is even Agile? What is this word? Because in the tech ecosystem, there's a lot of buzzwords. There's a lot, okay? You're going to be coming across a lot of buzzwords, a lot of terminologies. But first thing first, what is Agile? So before I even go into defining Agile, like you can see on my screen, let's go back to the basics. What is the basics? The basics is project management. Now, I've come across this thing. So when people reach out to me, or I probably go to a meetup or some event and they say, hey, Josephine, what do you do? I say, oh, I'm a Scrum Master. I get that, okay. But you can just see it in their face that they don't even know what I'm saying. And some persons who are confident to just go further to say, hey, Josephine, okay, what do Scrum Masters do? All right. But if you ask me what I do for a living and I say I'm a project manager, you just know because the word just explains project manager. She manages projects. So whether Agile, whether waterfall, everything started from project management. And like I just mentioned, a project manager who is very popular, the career path is very popular, uses a particular methodology called the waterfall methodology. Now, the waterfall methodology has been on for years. If you come across a project manager and ask them, what what's the method, what's the strategy in which you use in managing projects, they are going to mention the waterfall methodology. And it's just like the word implies, waterfall. So it starts from top down. It's just like a waterfall literally flows from top down using the SDLC. I'm going to be using a lot of buzzwords, but don't be scared, don't worry. If you don't understand any buzzword I've used during this presentation, put it down during the Q&A section. Say, Josephine, what do you mean by this? And I'm going to break it down even further, okay? So the project manager uses the waterfall methodology while the Scrum Master uses the Agile methodology. Now, what's the simple difference between the waterfall methodology and the Agile methodology? Is that there is a shift. There is a paradigm shift from doing things the traditional way to the modern way. Let's even relate this thing to you and I, daily living, day-to-day activity. So let's say you're used to washing clothes with your hands. A lot of us still wash clothes with our hands. As a matter of fact, I still wash clothes with my hands. I feel like I'm used to it already. So let's say you're used to washing clothes with your hand, and every Saturday you're washing a mountain of clothes. And then somebody sees you one day, a friend, a neighbor, whoever it is, and say, you know what, Josephine, I don't like the way you're stressing yourself and you're washing with your hands like this. I'm going to get you a washing machine. And like play, you know, I'll use the Niger parlance, guys. I already said it. If you're just joining, I'm going to be using the Niger parlance. So like play, the person brings the washing machine. And so what it means is that you're not going to be washing the clothes with your hands anymore. You're going to use the washing machine. What's the difference from washing your clothes, which is the manual methodology, to using something automatic? Is that one, it saves you time. So that you put your clothes in the washing machine, you can go cook. You can do anything you want to do. So you have that, it's flexible. But if you have to wash with your hand, which is the manual, which is the traditional method, it's rigid. You can't live there. If you must leave the clothes will suffer. Okay? If you leave the clothes to go do something else, that means like you're deprioritizing that cloth. And you can't achieve a lot of things within a short time frame. So the essence of me going back to do what I just said, back to the basics, is that there is a movement from the traditional to the modern. The waterfall method is great. That's not to rain on it. But there are pitfalls. It was not sustainable. Why is it not sustainable? You may want to ask me. It's not sustainable because there are lots of complex projects that organizations are carrying out. Let's even leave organizations a little bit. We humans, we are complex. So the taste you had 2 years ago, your taste, the things you like, the things you want to do 2 years ago, even just 6 months ago, is not the same. I bet you if your finances change, the things you're doing now as regards to, I like these things, will change. So we are complex. You may say, oh, I want to eat jollof rice this morning. And mid-morning, you're like, you know what, can you give me tea? That's how complex we are. So if human beings are complex, projects are getting complex day by day. And the waterfall methodology will not cut it, will not do the work, because it's too competitive out there. Use your finger to count how many fintechs that is even in Nigeria. If you go to the iOS or Android store, how many fintech applications, okay, are in the iOS or Android store? There's a lot. The competition is big. The competition is massive. So organizations want something that is quick, something that is flexible to change, something that would deliver fast, because the game organizations and companies are playing is now who reach market first, now you get the market share. So I'm going to say that for the benefit of people who are not in Nigeria. I won't believe that, okay, maybe there are 1 or 2 persons in Nigeria here. So the game organizations are playing is that it's about who has the market share, the return on investment. And the return on investment can only happen if you have large market share. And that's the game. And the only way any organization can have a large market share is if you get to the market fast. Do you understand? We all know that thing that if you want to go to the market, that there's this thing as a Nigerian that if you want to see nice things, there's some special markets that you have to go early in the morning. You just go there to go and pick nice things, because if you go mid-afternoon, later in the evening, you probably may not see something nice. That's how the organizations think. That's how their brain works in terms of return on investment. Okay? So I said all of this to set a base, to set that platform before we start talking about Agile, because I want you to know where we're coming from. Where is Agile coming from? Now we're talking about Agile. The difference between the waterfall and Agile is a movement, a shift from doing things the traditional way to the modern way, doing things the manual way to the automatic way. And Agile has come to stay, because Agile is big. I can't even say, I can give a whole full lecture, a whole day and more on Agile. But let's focus. Let's put our focus on the topic. Now, Agile is an iterative and flexible approach to project management and software development. Keyword here, iterative. See, when I use buzzword, don't worry, don't write it down. Don't stress your head. There what she said, iterative. So let's explain what iterative is. Iterative is like a feedback loop. Iterative is like a rinse and repeat project, a rinse and repeat process. Okay, do you know that we do iteration in our daily lives? Because when I teach, it's not far-fetched. When you see all these big words, all these tech words, they are big, but they are really relatable. Okay, so I like breaking things down. So when you say something is iterative, it's like a feedback loop. It's like a rinse and repeat process. Let's look at it from a day-to-day activity. Do you know that all of us on this call right now, we do iteration in our daily lives? Let me tell you how you do iteration. So depending whether you're single or married, there's a process. For single people, let's look at it. Let's think about it. What's the iteration in their life? Single people who are probably working. So that's the scenario I'm creating in my head right now. So iteration comes that, in the morning you wake up, say your prayers, take your bath, and prepare for work, get to work, come back, fix your dinner, and then go to sleep. The next morning, you start the same process. That's an iteration. You start the same process again. You wake up, say your prayers, have your breakfast, go to work, come back, fix your dinner, go to sleep. That is iteration. That is a process. It's a feedback loop. You're looping. You're doing the same thing over and over again. Now, in doing the same thing over and over again, you like today, you did an iteration today. Now, at the end of today, what is the value you're getting from today? You'd be like, okay, I went to work today. If you didn't go to work, I had some classes today, and I went through a master class, and I got value. So you're going to be thinking about what value did I get out of today, no matter how small. Now, let's look at the core value. Talking about values, let's look at the core values of Agile. When I'm talking about the core values of Agile, I'm talking about the Agile Manifesto. We're going to see that in the next slide. So what are the core values of Agile? Agile focuses on individuals and interaction. Agile focuses on working software, customer collaboration, and responding to change. I'm going to put a pin on this till the next slide, okay? So let's look at the key principles. What are the key principles of Agile? In Agile, when we say key principles, what do we seek to do? It's not just a buzzword. Hey, there's one new word in tech. It's called Agile. We'll be working with teams. No, that's not it. The key principles of Agile is talking about what do we seek to achieve? What do we want to achieve using Agile in an organization, within a team? We seek to deliver value early. We deliver value early and often, embracing change and continuous improvement. So what's about delivering value early? Let me give you a good example. I'm a foodie. So those people in my WhatsApp group, okay, sign up. Abuja chapter, by the way. So when we talk about delivering value early, we're looking at, let's say we have a project, okay? Let every one of us want a team in this place, and we're working on a project, jollof rice. Let's use the project as jollof rice project. Now, in jollof rice project, using Agile, the idea is that we're going to be iterating, delivering value in bits, but we have to deliver it early and often, which is the key principle of Agile. So it means that if we are going to work on a project Agile, what are the work on a project jollof rice? Okay, what are the features of jollof rice? We have rice, we have pepper, tomatoes, and shrimp, depending on what protein you want to use. So expensive in the market. You guys already know that. So, but you still want to cook jollof rice, right? You still want to have jollof rice. So, Agile is saying, what do you have now? What is in your store now? What do you have that you can use? Okay, you first of all identify that, I have rice, I have palm oil, I have sachet tomatoes. Agile is saying, oh yeah, let's start. Let's deliver rice. Let's deliver white rice first. We know that, okay, we'll go and buy tomatoes later. But what can we deliver now? What can we deliver fast? Now, let's look at the Agile Manifesto. There are 4 Agile Manifestos. And for Scrum Masters, there's this particular question that is very popular during Scrum interviews. You're going to be asked a question like, do you value the things in the left over the things in the right? Do you value the things in the left over the things in the right? When you hear those questions, they are talking about the Agile Manifesto. What is our constitution? Okay, as Agilists, what do we believe in? All right, so we value the things in the left, right? If you can see my screen, you can obviously see what are the things in the left. So we value the things in the left over the things in the right. And you ask me, this one, what's this thing? Which one is left? Which one is right? What's the things in the left? What's the things in the right? Okay, that's fine. The things in the right is waterfall. The things in the left is Agile. Remember that we are sick. A lot of organizations are already in Agile mode already. So we're saying that the things in the left, which is Agile, we prioritize it. We value it over the things in the right. One of the things in the left is individuals and interaction over processes and tools. I'll give you a very good example. There are some organizations you work with, and let's say you guys are working on a project, and I want to tell AB that, oh, AB, I've finished my job on the front end. I need you to give me the APIs. Let's say I'm a front-end engineer, okay, and we're working on a project. And I need the APIs to be able to interact with, to integrate with what I'm doing, to integrate with the screens, for instance. So instead of, all those over-sabi people use in some organization, see my table, see AB's table. Stay with me, guys. I'm talking about individuals and interaction. See my table, see AB's table. Some people will now go and start sending mail. Hello, AB. I hope this email finds you well. How are you doing? I want to inquire if the APIs are ready. Bro, Agile says just look over your cubicle and say, hey, AB, how far now? What's up? I'm done with my screen. So the API is ready. Fast, like everything is not email. Let's interact, because it seems as if in the workplace we're losing that individual interaction. Talk to your colleagues, be able to converse with them, because if I send AB mail, it's most likely that he will not see that mail in the next 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, as the case may be. And that's time going down the drain. That's money. Okay, because when you're working on a project, the time is ticking. The stakeholders' money is running. You need to make good use of it. So instead of using process and tools, in some organizations, they say we have to send email. It has to be formal. I'm not saying that you can't send email for everything, but you can't send email for everything. There are some things that require email, then you send an email, okay? There are some things that say, oh, we need to do it here and now. Let's go, let's do it. Now, I'm going to talk about 2 for the sake of time. I'm not going to go all through the way, the 4 Agile Manifesto. Now, one of the things that we value in the left over the things in the right is working software over comprehensive documentation. This particular word, let me use the Nigerian parlance, if they suits me. You know why? There's these things you see in the ministry, Nigerian ministries, you guys already know. So let me not even say what will put me in trouble. But you guys know this thing that there are some organizations where once you enter the organization, they can write documents. They will, in fact, if you are resuming a role, they'll say, oh, the person who was working, I see what the person has done. You'll be seeing plenty documentation, plenty book, plenty. And you know, we are not even good at keeping data in this country and even in most of our organizations. Let's even be truthful. So why do we pride writing things, documenting things over working software? When we're talking about working software, let me give you an example. So let's say you join this platform. We're using Zoho, right? And I want to share my screen. Okay, and as I clicked on that icon that should enable me share my screen, it was not working. I was not able to click. It wasn't responsive. The functionality was not responsive. Now, and we identified that this is a bug in a team, and the users or the marketing team escalates to the engineering team that, hey guys, our users are telling us on the Zoho platform that they are not able to click the share button. Okay, that's already a bug in the system. Now, comprehensive documentation say, oh, the engineering team now say, oh, users cannot click it. They'll not say, oh, let's do research. Let's write. We'll not start doing documentation. Why is the user not able to say, we're not doing research, we're not saying plenty things? Nobody wants that. Users are impatient people. Me and you are impatient people. Once you want to make a post, you click this thing. You want everything fast Indomie, fast cars, fast everything. So because users are impatient, they will go and drag your application on Twitter. They will drag you people like a better person generator. They will drag you. And you know, some publicity or bad publicity, and it's not good for some organization. So when there is a bug, instead of writing plenty English, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, go and fix it. Identify the bug, look into the logs. What are we going to do to fix it? Let's fix it. Let's deploy this to production. Let's unblock the user straight up. After we have unblocked the user, if I click on the share button is working. We'll now start talking. Okay, let's write the documentation. Let's put it in the code base. Let's do this and do that. Okay, so let's go forward. Let's move forward. If you have questions, just drop it. Don't swallow the question like about. Keep it so that we can talk about it, because they could be, because of want of time, I could probably miss some things. When you ask questions, I'll be able to explain even further. Okay. What are the essential roles in Agile teams? In an Agile team, there are 3 roles. Okay. We're looking at the Scrum Master, the product owner, who can also be referred to as the product manager. Okay, so I'm sure you probably may be used to the word product manager, product management. That's fine. Those roles can be used interchangeably. So it's either you say it's a product owner or it's a product manager. Okay, and then the development team. These are the 3 essential roles in Agile. Now, you want to ask a question. Say, Josephine, pardon the noise in the background, by the way. So you want to ask a question, Josephine, I'm a UI UX designer, I'm a DevOps engineer, there are different roles that I've not cited here. The only roles I've cited is the Scrum Master and the Product Owner. So the development team is a cross-functional team. It's where you see all manner of skill sets. You see the quality analyst, the UI UX designer, the graphics designer, name it, the DevOps engineer, DevSecOps, technical writer, as the case may be. So the development team is a self-organizing team that is full of different kinds of professionals, okay? So whatever role you play in the Agile team that is not a Scrum Master or a product owner, you are in the development team. Because in the development team, those people are regarded as the people who do the actual work. Yes, they are regarded as people who do the actual. That's why you see the back-end engineer, the front-end mobile engineer, as the case may be. You see a lot of skill set, tech skill set in the development team. So those people are the people who do the actual work. The Scrum Master, we don't program, we don't know how to, we don't code. Our idea is not to be technical. Our job does not require us to be technical. The product owner, is not a programmer, does not code, does not know Java, React Native, all those, that's okay. But we don't require to be technical. But along the way, when you work with technical teams, you become technical. But for the development teams, these are core technical people. They are the core technical people. They are dealing with Figma screens. They are using a lot of programming languages or tools to get their job done. So those are the skill sets that you're going to see in the Agile team. Now, the next thing is, how do we bring about effective communication in the Agile team? Because, guys, let's look at it. When you work with some organization, basically the organization I work for, I'm in Nigeria, and my Scrum team, people in my Scrum team, talking about product owners, everybody in the development team, Canada, a lot of them are offshore, Canada, US, UK, different place in the country, all right? And I'm in Nigeria, okay? And there are times where you will work for some teams and you are in Nigeria, but everybody, for instance, I'm in Abuja currently. Not everybody is in Abuja, meaning that you're going to be working remotely, remote jobs, even though everybody's in Abuja, but there's no physical office to go to. So you're going to be working with different people scattered all over the world or all over the country. And if there's a physical, if you're working on site, meaning that you need to be waking up and going to the office every day. It's easy to communicate, right? Remember when I talked about individuals and interaction in the Agile manifesto? So if I need something from Mr. AB and hey, AB, what's up now? How you doing? How far? Please give me that screen. I don't have that screen. Or I need this, I need that from you. I need that endpoint and I need this from you. It's easier. Or AB, how far are we deploying? Are we deploying to the stores today? What are the things that are going to the stores? What features are? It's easy to ask. I can always go to AB's office and say, what's up now, what's going on, and all of that, and we discuss. But when you're working remotely, how do you enhance communication? How do you use communication in such a way that it becomes very effective? One of the ways, we have something we call in Scrum, the Scrum events, okay? So you may want to ask, so the person in Canada, how are we going to be working? Because let's say we're working on a project, the time zone messes up. It's actually evening here. It's probably morning in US and some people who are in different parts of the country. So time zones is a factor. Those things are like risks. Those things are things that mitigate against the things that we do. Okay. So what you want to do is you will use the Scrum events. The Scrum event has a lot of events that play out. So this event enable effective communication. These events enable effective communication. In the event, we have the daily stand-up, we have the sprint planning, the sprint retrospective, the sprint review, we have the backlog refinement. I cannot talk about all of them on a call, okay? I cannot talk about all of them on a call, on this call rather. So I'm just going to pick the things I will talk about. So the first thing is the daily stand-up. The daily stand-ups are short meetings to discuss progress, plans, and obstacles. Those are the daily stand-up, okay? So now, we do stand-up. You may not know it's an event in Agile or in Scrum. You may not know. But stand-up, unlike the regular traditional organizations, where people stay in long meetings, talk and talk and talk, that's not the idea. People have work to do. If we're working on a project, it is time-boxed. There is a timeline for that project, and we must meet that timeline, give and take. So how do you enable effective communication? One of the things we do every morning, and there are lots of tools. You could use Zoho, Google Teams, you have, did I say Google Teams? Sorry, MS Teams, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet. You could use it. There's a lot of video conferencing platform where we can collaborate in real time, okay? So the stand-up is like literally the word stand up. We are standing up to give updates. Okay, but we literally don't stand up, but just like the word entails, stand up. So it's a 15-minute time box event. We are not there to discuss about our great-grandparents, our genealogy, who cooked soup and who did not cook soup, or who went. Because in traditional organizations, you are going to be seeing, you stay in meetings, sometimes you get bored out of your head. That's not Agile. Agile is saying every meeting must have an agenda and it must be time boxed. Okay, so in the daily stand-up, it's for 15 minutes. 15 minutes, everybody in the team gives their update. Hey, so I give my update. Josephine, what are you working on? Okay, so I'm like, hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, as the case may be. And I say, okay, what I worked on yesterday was that I integrated the screens that we have, but right now I'm currently blocked. I need the sign up API, or I need this endpoint for me to be able to complete my task. And so the stand-ups are very, very, very straightforward. It's about what you did yesterday, what you will do today, and if you have any impediments. Impediment is like blockers, something that will not enable you move forward. Okay, and then we have another event that enhance communication is the sprint retrospective. I had one today. We're currently working on a feature, okay, and we ended our sprint. So the sprint retrospective happens at the end of every sprint. It's a time where we retrospect. Do you know that all these events, we do it in our daily life? You do stand-ups, you do daily stand-up in your daily life, you do retrospective, but you just don't know that's the buzzword. We do stand-up. At the end of the day, I usually ask myself, like, oh, Justin, what did you achieve today? What did you do today? Hope today was valuable. What were you able to get in the whole, how many hours that you put into work? Those are your own personal stand-up. You evaluate yourself daily, weekly, as the case may be. And then we also do retrospective. Retrospective is like, that's the only time where we look back and say, okay, we worked on the security layer functionality, and how did we do? What did we do well? What went well? What didn't go well? How can we improve? We do retrospective in our life. At the end of the month, you want to ask yourself, Josephine, what did you do this month? Hope you added value to yourself. What went well this month? Retrospective gives room for improvement. Retrospective is a way where you improve, because if you don't retrospect self as a human being, how can you improve? So for some students who are in the cohort, and I think, apologies on that, everybody's in the cohort right here. You want to retrospect, okay? You want to ask yourself, this is 2 weeks into the cohort. This is 1 month into the cohort. How am I even learning? Is this thing entering? Am I confident enough that I know this thing? Do I understand the facilitator? Those are retrospective, and we do that in Agile. We look at what we have done in a particular iteration, let's say 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 weeks, 1 week, as the case may be, and say, how well have we done? And then we're also looking at the tools and techniques, using communication tools like Slack. Like I said, a lot of people work offshore, onshore. You're going to be working with people all over the world. That's tech, that's Agile. And for you to be able to have that effective communication in real time, there are some tools that you use. There are tools that like Slack. You know, a lot of people use Slack. There's a whole lot of them out there. And then I mentioned the video conferencing too, because one of the things that I have also inspected in my experience of working in an Agile environment is that some teams are still yet to get there when it comes to TAT. When I talk about TAT, I'm talking about turnaround time. Turnaround time in terms of response. So let's say I'm in Nigeria and AB is in Canada, and we're working, I'm the front-end engineer, AB is the back-end engineer, and we're working together on a particular functionality. Remember that we need each other. I need the API. The back-end engineer needs to get the API ready for me to consume it as the front-end engineer. And talking about TAT, don't get confused, it's turnaround time. So when I type on Slack and I say, hey, AB, what's up? I'm done with the screens. Is the endpoint ready? AB should be able to respond to me in the next 5 seconds, 10 minutes, 5 minutes or so. So as an Agile team, we need to say, what is our maximum turnaround time? You cannot send somebody a message on Slack by 8 a.m. The person is responding to you by 2 p.m. That is an anti-pattern. That's not best practice. Okay, we are not working in all these government parastatals that people will use 100 years to complete a task. Nobody cares. Nobody looks at anything. Nobody is asking any questions. There are no consequences. There's no pressure. Nothing. Okay, nobody is under any form of pressure. There's no timeline for delivery and all of that. No, in an agile team, everybody is responsible. Okay, and you need to be able to be hands-on on the tools that we use. So one of the things I also want to let everybody know on this call is that learn how to use tools. That you'll be exposed to a lot of tools that helps collaboration in real time. So even though Abby is in Canada and is 4 a.m. in the morning and it's 8 a.m. my time, once I send a message to say, hey, what's up, how you doing? I need this, I need that. There should be an immediate turnaround response that, okay, in the next 5 minutes, in the next 10 minutes, I should be getting a response from AB, okay? Now let's look at using collaboration tools effectively. Using the collaboration tools effectively. Jira for project tracking, Trello for task management, Slack for communication is very important. If time permits me, I'm going to take you guys through my Jira board to show you around. So Jira is a software used for project management. So whether you are a project manager, you are a Scrum Master, product manager, name it, all the tech skill sets that you can see in the tech ecosystem, you need to be hands-on on using tools. It's not enough to say, oh, that's not the tool. I use Figma. I do things on Figma. Everybody collaborates on a particular project management tool. Some organizations use Jira. Some organizations use ADO. It's called Azure DevOps. Some organizations use Trello. Depending on what it is, it helps for proper collaboration. It helps for data mining in terms of fact that you need to be able to interpret data and identify the backlogs, what's going on, impediments, so that we can deliver on time. Remember that this thing is a game of now who first go market. So I work for a fintech organization, and trust me, there are 1,001, in fact, sweeter, okay, I take that word. There are 1,001 fintech organizations out there, okay? But it's about who is going to deploy to the market, who is going to bring this feature first into the market. There are sweet features, okay? So who's going to get this feature first into the market so that users can use it? And you know this thing about getting features into the market. We do this thing, even in our daily life, we do this thing. So you go to the market, and then you are used to a particular detergent, for instance, and then you go to the market and you see one particular detergent. And the person who is selling that detergent is convincing you that, hey, Josephine, if you use this detergent, it will do this. Your clothes will be shining. It will give your clothes perfume. But you are stuck on the one you are using. You are stuck on it. To shift from using a new thing from the one that you're currently using, it takes a lot of convincing. And organizations some of you don't have strength to come and be convincing you that, hey, our product is this, our product that. If you get to the market first, people don't have choice than to start using your product. Anyone that is coming after is seen as inferior, except they are too good to give the existing product they run for their money. Okay, so the thing back to base. I know I better up a little bit. All right. So back to base. So what I'm trying to say is that there are tools that organizations use. Once you get onboarded, get your employment letter, get onboarded into an organization, you're going to be onboarded into a lot of tools that they use. So we need to be hands-on on tools. Now, benefits. What are the benefits of using Agile? I've talked a lot about communication, tools, the values and all of that, but what do we benefit when we use Agile? One of the benefits of using Agile, working in an Agile team, is increased transparency. Okay, so if we're working in silos, let's say we're working in silos, we're not using Agile. When I mean working in silos, that we are just working. Everybody's in an organization and everybody's just working. When people deliver tasks, we deliver tasks. Nobody cares, nothing, we're just working. The thing about it is that you start having cabals. You start having some small group inside the group. So let's say as a Scrum Master, I'll not come and tell, oh, AB, I'll tell you, oh, this. I'll go to this other person, I'll say this. There is no transparency. So, but when you're working in Agile, using the tools, there is a lot of time because all of us are collaborating in real time. If AB says, okay, it's time for QA session, and puts the mic of everyone, you can ask me questions in real time and I will respond in real time. That is transparency. Everybody is seeing what everybody is doing. Whether you are in Afghanistan, you are wherever, Mexico, we are all working in the same time and seeing what we're doing. And the next thing is streamline workflows. We have workflows. For Jira, I wish time will permit me to show you my Jira board. There are workflows. You have to first of all determine the DoD with your team. I know I'm getting a little bit into Scrum, but forgive me in advance. Okay, you can ask me what DoD is if we have time. So, but DoD is about definition of done. In our team, looking at the workflow, how will work flow? When we say workflow, it's no big thing. How will work flow? In terms of, is work moving from plan to in development to code review to QA, testing what we have done, to product owner, and to done. So every team is unique. You determine the workflow, but the workflow is streamlined. Nobody is guessing. If a backend engineer is done with his tasks, he writes his unit testing, he tests it first in his local host. Once he's done testing his local host, the next workflow is telling him that he's going to put it up for code review. So he's going to raise a PR so that his PR will be reviewed. Because if you cook food and you test that food, unit testing is saying that I cook food and I cook rice. And I test the rice. I write test cases for my rice. And I test my rice. My food will be sweet. Even though it's not pepper, I will convince myself that my food is sweet. But if I serve you the food, you can easily say, Josephine, your food is great though, but I wish it was a little spicy. I wish there was more, tomatoes or pepper and all of that. So that's code review. We review, the engineers have their code review depending on what their quality timeline is and how to make sure that their code meets the quality. It has a code quality. Yeah, I'm not going to go into all of that. Sorry, but yeah. So talking about the workflows, there needs to be a streamlined workflow agreed by the team. And then we enhance remote collaboration. Remote work is sweet. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Remote work is sweet. It's flexible. Okay. And then you have time to do a lot of things. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. And then we'll talk about implementation, steps to integrate these tools into your daily workflow. The tools that we use every day, it's your go-to tools. So normally, instead of waking up to pressing, you're on WhatsApp, from WhatsApp, you move to Instagram, you move to Twitter. When you wake up as a tech person, you wake up to first your project management tool. What project management? What communication tool? Slack. I hate when I hear Slack notification. My head, not again. But these are like, I've incorporated them into my daily living. They are into my daily workflow. These are like a must do or a must, have. And now let's look at continuous improvement. In Agile, we are continuously improving. We are big on CI/CD, okay? When I talk about CI/CD, I'm not talking about the dev of CI/CD. For a dev person to come and say, what's this talking about? Where is the CI/CD enter this one? I'm talking about continuous improvement and continuous development. It's an acronym thing. So I'm talking about continuous improvement and development. We are big on it. Even as humans, you have to improve. In this cohort, at the end of the cohort, you should be able to tell yourself that the Josephine that started this cohort and the Josephine after a particular duration, 6 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, they're not the same person anymore. You need to improve daily. It's a daily improvement. If I didn't improve daily, I'm not improving daily as a person. I cannot confidently say the things I'm saying because lack of improvement leads to lack of knowledge. There is a knowledge gap if you're not improving. And in tech, tech is fast-paced. Girl, tech is fast-paced. What I mean fast, the knowledge that you're using to do Yanga, you're bragging. I'm a UI UX person. The knowledge yesterday, today, it has changed. So you cannot afford to brag. There's no bragging right in terms of, I know this thing, let me now relax. I'm a Scrum master. I'm a product manager. Let me relax. You'll be shocked that you'll be out of job in no time. So you need to keep continuously improve. That's what we do in Agile. Keep learning, keep developing your skills because new things are showing up every day. I'll give you an example. In Agile, there's something called scaled Agile, framework where we are scaling Agile. We are learning about Agile, but there's a process where we scale Agile. That's like the bigger form of Agile. Okay, when I talk about the bigger form, that's apologies, that's not bigger, that's an improved form of Agile. The word is improved. Now, I recently noticed that they changed the terminologies in Agile. So there's something we call PI planning, which talks about program increments. And it's no longer called PI planning, it's called planning interval. So imagine me in a speaking event, let's say in a speaking event like this, and there's a safe person here, okay? Or I'm talking in an interview and I'm saying, in our team, when we want to plan for our do our program increment planning for the next cadence, the person will like program increment. What's this one saying? The person like, do you mean planning interval? Because it's no longer called program increments. So what I'm trying to say is things change, things move. Tech is a fast-paced industry. What you know can go stale if you do not continuously improve. Now let's look at the feedback loops. Implementing feedback to enhance team performance and product quality. Why do we use Agile? Agile is saying that if we have a project called jollof rice, we don't need to build it end to end first. Because we may not have everything to build it. But let's cook white rice first. Let's parboil the rice and we'll put our parboiled rice into the hands of the target market. And our target market will say, in Nigerian markets, you put parboil you put parboil Chinese rice. Nobody eats Chinese rice though. If you want your market to sell, use your father rice. That's feedback. So imagine us cooking that jollof rice with Chinese rice, Indonesian rice, even if it's not there, just pretend that it's there. Okay? So Chinese rice, Indonesian rice. And after we are done cooking the jollof rice, we now deploy it to the market, to the stores. When I mean the market, to the iOS or Android store. And then we're getting feedback that, nobody, I will not eat Indonesian, this thing that does not even have taste. I'm not feeling the smoky jollof rice inside. That's, if they give us that feedback, after we finish building the project, after 8 months, 1 year, 2 years, what do we do with that feedback then? We will now have to go back all over. That's resources down the drain, effort, money. Let's not even begin to go into the nitty-gritty. So Agile is saying that we don't need to get there. While we are cooking the jollof rice, the one we have done in bit, we send it to the market to give it to our target audience to review. You people do this thing. Everybody do this thing. You go to the stores to download an application. I read reviews. You don't read, I read reviews. When I see bad review, I don't run with that. I'm going to look for another app where I'm going to see good reviews, 5-star, 4-star, and the rest of it. So we're getting feedback on the go. So imagine us then the customer giving us feedback that Nigerian market, you have to use on father rice. Now that one is sweet. That we've gotten feedback instead of just blindly continuing with Chinese rice. We will now go flexible to change. Agile is flexible to change. We'll quickly change it to a father rice. That's it. We've gotten feedback. So that is Agile. The feedback is instant. Adaptability, being open to changes and adjusting plans as needed. We are not rigid people. In Agile, don't say, I've started this task, so, and then maybe your Scrum Master is saying, you know what, the information we're getting from stakeholders is that this feature we're working on, there's no return on investment, it's not viable for the company, there's no value stream for this, so we're ending the sprint to start another sprint. I'm 50% done in this task, so I'm 80% done. We're flexible to change in Agile. Nothing is cast on stone because human beings are complex. The fact that you want to eat eba and egusi soup this minute that I'm saying it and you're thinking about it, after this class, it's likely that your plan will change. You want to drink garri, it's likely. So that's how it is. Projects are complex and you have to be flexible to change. So, yep. This is where I wrap up the session in terms of my presentation slide. So my encouragement to everyone in the team is that try as much as possible to apply these strategies to enhance your Agile team effectiveness. All these things I've said, you do it. If I have more time, I would open your eyes to show you how you do it. You just don't know that you are Agile. You are agiling there's a word like that. I don't think so. But you do Agile on your own. You just haven't known that you're an Agile person. So you need to bring those things that you do personally into your workplace, okay? And you work effectively. So all of these things I've said, make sure that you go back, internalize these strategies. It just makes you different. When you're working in an Agile team and you have good knowledge of Agile, carrying out your tasks, you just know you're different. Even everybody just perceive that this person really knows what he or she is doing. Okay, so I'm going to leave, I don't know if we're going to get into Q&A, or I still have time to show you my Jira and look at the workflow. Some of the things I mentioned is something I can easily show you. But again, my contact information is here. You can reach me on agilewithjosephine@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram at Bosah Josephine, and then on LinkedIn. So you can look me up and we can collaborate from here on. So yeah, I'm going to pass the mic to AB. Let's look at the time that we have. AB, do we still have time, or we just need to get into the Q&A right about now?
All right, thank you so much, Josephine. I think we'll just go straight to Q&A. So because of time, so we can meet up other things here. So if anyone have a question, you go to shoot. You can look through the Q&A, but then I think I've not seen any question for now. This network. All right. While we are looking up for Q&A, thank you so much, Josephine. Like I told you, why we do all of these things is because we have been in the industry, and we know how these things work. We know how we have suffered in terms of working, or people working with us, because they lack this knowledge, and it's actually draining, while building, because just like she have mentioned, we have moved past the age of waterfall. We're in an agile development team, and we are building that kind of a team. So we all need this knowledge. We are learning different skills, back end, front end. We all are going to be working with in an agile team. So you need this knowledge. That's why we are having this section. So just in case for next time, next week again, we have another powerful section. Speaker is ready. We have a section for next week. We're going to be learning. Like I mentioned earlier, for the Cohort 1 students, they need this section very well, because we have the project that they'll be working on in a group. And if you don't have this knowledge, it will be a nightmare for your team, right? If you don't have this communication skill, somebody will send you a message. You have deliverables. Somebody send you a message. It takes you 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours to respond. It's actually draining in a team. So that's why we want to help you with all of this skill. And you have just heard from our speaker. She has experience in this field. Just a side shoots. We have actually worked together when those days in 2019. Is it just finished? Is it 2018, 2019? We have a lot of ideas. We have a lot of ideas. We have actually tried to. We have a lot of ideas we've actually tried to put up, but then it has been a nightmare because we lack this knowledge some years ago, right? So that's what we don't want any of us to go through. There are so many things that we try to build over the years. Like I said, we are very close friends and all of that. So there are so many things that we try to build that we didn't see those days, right? So, but now with all of this experience, trust me, we are shooting faster and better, right? So we need these ideas. We all need these ideas in a team. Please, Josephine, I think no question yet. What are skills needed to work effectively in an agile environment in tech? Josephine, that's for you.
Okay, thank you so much for the question. So the skills needed to work in an agile environment are your soft skills. And some of these skills, you already have them. It's very transferable. One of them is the communication skills, your listening skills. So if you're in a team and they're discussing, you want to listen to get the details, because if you miss anything, it's probably that you go and implement something else, and it's going to cost the organization and the team rolling back. Okay, your listening skills, your communication skills, your persuasive skills. You're going to be working with very intelligent people, very smart people. How do you make them see things in your own way? So you need your persuasive skills to come to place, which is more like you're influencing the team, but positively. Okay, so we have foresight. You need to have foresight. You need to be able to look ahead. Why everybody is thinking about things just here and now. As a tech person, you need to be able to look ahead. How does this impact the market? In 5 years from now, in 10 years from now, how will this thing that we are building impact the customer? So listening skills, communication skills, persuasive skills, foresight, and a whole lot of them, but this should do the work.
Okay. I think you have seen this one, right? Are the things on the right side of the Agile manifesto's values actually unimportant?
Good question. So the things in the right are not entirely unimportant, but they are rigid. They are time consuming. Waterfall is good, guys. Let's not rain on waterfall. Waterfall is good, but the truth of the matter is, in today's age and time, you can't use waterfall to successfully carry out a project. Okay, the projects are complex. If you use waterfall, it's a little bit of waterfall says that it's talking about step by step. It's like when you are climbing staircase in your house. That's how waterfall is. Waterfall says if you want to do a project, you use like 1 month, 2 months to go and do research. After doing research, you now come and draw the infrastructure plan. After drawing the infrastructure plan, you now come and start designing. These things take time. Agile is saying, wait, what do we have now? Okay, this is what we have. Let's start implementing it now. So the things in the right are also important, but in today's age, they will not do the work. Okay, they are very, very rigid. They are not flexible to change at all. They are like Olumoro, immovable people. They don't move. That's what I say in my family. We do things like this. Those are waterfall people. So it's not really, we can't implement it in complex projects.
Okay. There is a question here. Anyways, the question is kind of, yeah, I said, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Please, I want to ask, I work in an organization where respecting pecking order is a big deal. How do I mean? You can't cross to your director or manager without passing through the supervisor. Now, my question is, applying this Agile methodology, how do we succeed here?
Okay, so in Agile, remember there are processes. Let me give you, for instance, in my engineering team, we have the engineering manager, we have the developers, we have the Scrum masters, who are people who support the team, where we kind of lead the team. So if the engineers are having issues, their first port of escalation is shouting that, hey, I have problem, or I'm not able to go past this, it's your Scrum master. So in every organization, you first of all need to note, what are my escalation levels in terms of roles? After you, who is the next person? Who is the next person? Who is the next person? So instead of saying, oh, I have an issue, you just go to your engineering manager and go and escalate it. No, that's not right. First of all, escalate it to the next person, your supervisor. It is when you're not getting the needed response from the people you start. It's like climbing a step by step, you're escalating it. You should have response. You should get help. If supervisor does not do it, the next supervisor should help you. The next person should help you. But even before you get to supervisor, check within your team. Who can help me do this? Who can unblock me in my team? If you're a back-end engineer, there should be another back-end engineer. So check with your team. If your teammates cannot block you, then you start escalating it. Thank you.
Right. So there's process to these things. That's why it's an Agile team. So I think most of these guys might be cohort 1 student. Cohort 2. For cohort 1, there are so many questions. We have done a lot of quiz, and we'll do it for cohort 2. Don't worry. There are so many questions who have asked about working together and all of that. It's a teaser quiz, questions, suggestion questions, where we just put out the answer, but we're actually teaching you how to work, how to relate when you face challenges. Who do you meet first? How to escalate things and all. So it helps us to understand how to work in a team. So we do all of those things most times on our different channels. So for cohort 2, don't worry, we'll bring all of those things again for us. Okay, so okay, this one is just trying to for what's his name? OT Abraham, don't worry, there's a recording for this section. It's going to be up on YouTube today, and the link will be sent out as well. Okay. Good evening, Ma. You mentioned XDLC. You mentioned of XDLC. Are they team working together or an individual?
Okay, so SDLC is talking about SDLC. Let's talk about the word. It's not big word. SDLC is software development life cycle. So what are the life cycle a project should go through? Okay, so it's talking about, let's say you want to cook jollof rice, for instance. What are the life cycle of jollof rice? First thing you want to do, depending on the kind of rice you use, you want to parboil it. After parboiling the rice, you want to make the sauce. So what stage by stage processes will this rice be delivered? We say we are finished cooking the rice. So that's what SDLC is, software development life cycle. There is a life cycle. So the waterfall life cycle is talking about, first of all, you want to research and do your gathering your requirements. After gathering your requirements, you want to document the requirements. After documenting the requirement, you want to build infrastructure, how this project will look like. It's just like building a house. You want to get is there an estate survey also to develop the plan, look at it, how the house is going to go from end to end. And after doing that, you want to also look at the UI UX designer who will start designing that particular project. So these are like the life cycle that every software solution or application will go through. So those are life cycles, and it differs. Waterfall differs from Agile. Okay, so what I just explained is Agile, but regardless, there's a life cycle. If you want to build an application, you don't just jump and say, oh, let's start designing it. You have to research, you have to gather requirements based on the market demand before you start. I don't know if that answers your question.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think what's there again? Good evening. Thanks for the slide. Please, how do we get access to the tools mentioned in between? I think those are links. The person is asking for tools. Are you a product manager? Babatunde Samuel. Most of these tools mentioned. Okay, let me see this last question. Now, in this case, where what most of us know is waterfall methodology in product. Who is using product? Are you sure in the real product management they are still doing waterfall? Or I think this person is still confused a bit anyways, but let me just take it. Yeah, because waterfall mostly it's been ages people use waterfall, and mostly people still do waterfall not for digital product anyways, like the automobile, where you need to finish a part by part before you move on. So many other physical, anything you build, all these physical products that you build and all of that, they're mostly using waterfall. Because if you make mistake in your design, right? For example, you are designing a laptop, like building a laptop. If you are designing a laptop, right, you have to make sure you design the laptop while these other people are building what is it called? The other part of the laptop. So it's a step-by-step approach. But for digital products, I think we have gone past waterfall is a tedious thing to use, don't trust me. But then let's just take this then now in this case, what most of us is for methodology and product manager. What's the thin line in crossing to Agile? Just we want to take that question.
Yes, good question. What's the thin line? There's a bit of thin line there, meaning that in Agile, we don't bug our developers, right? When we talk about thin line, we talk about project managers micromanage. In Agile, we trust the things are self-managing, self-organizing, and cross-functional. So it's just like your regular organization where you are asked to do a task. Your supervisor wants to choke you. What are you doing? How are you doing it? Every 2 minutes they're checking. How are you doing this thing? Show me what you're doing. No, we don't do that in Agile. That's micromanage. So there's a thin line between trying to make people work as self-managing people and micromanaging them. If you do not understand that line, you will cross it. Meaning that if you're giving a backend or a front-end developer, a UI UX designer a task to do, don't be in their neck just have a timeline. Oh, this is the timeline based on estimation that they need to deliver it. Every time they say, Tolu, what are you doing? How are you doing it? Show me what you're doing. Those are micromanaging. So there are a lot of thin line, but this is one of the popular thin line that you can cross from allowing teams to do their work and micromanaging them.
Okay, I think this one is shooting. He wants to link up. I feel this session was made for me. I have been having challenges with Scrum Master course I registered for. Really feels like I was not getting anything because I was tired of reading. But you have really break it down and make me have interest in it again. Please, Ma, can I link up? I think she has put out her handles, Bosah, Josephine, Instagram, and everywhere, right? So you can, while you're here, you can just search and find her and send her a message. I know. Are you going to respond? Just tell them now.
I responded. To the message.
All right. Okay. Ma, as a front-end developer, how do I get the right tools in Agile?
So thank you very much for that question. So once you get into an organization, there are things that they'll give you, just like starter pack. Okay, once you buy a new thing or you buy something, they'll give you a pack to sort of onboard you to using that product. So once you get into an organization, it's like a starter pack. They are going to onboard you into their Slack, if they're using Slack, into all their tools. Just like AB has invited all of us to Zoho platform. That's the same way they are going to put you on the Zoho platform so that all the meetings that are going to be held will be done here and you have easy access to it. So all the tools you use, the organization is already, they've subscribed for it, it's already there. So once you get into the organization, they would add you to using those tools. You don't have to pay for anything, it's just there. But first you need to know how to use the tools that are peculiar to your career role and then using the general tools, which is like project management tools. Thank you.
Okay. These questions are not, this last question. Is that as a cybersecurity expert, how to further sharpen your skills after this program? What are the available programs to hook up with? All right, I think whatever you need is made available. One thing that we've tried to put out here for this program is that we tried as much as we can to make the program not just intense, but interactive. We ensure that you can interact with our tutors, you can actually get the best possible skill sets after the program. So yeah, what's left for you is to take action. The first thing, I think, when we start having our series of Variety Friday, we talk about this thing. Cohort 1, we have already taught them. You just join in. So I believe this person is Cohort 2. We talk about how to sell yourself online. Talk about what you do. Right? Don't wait until you are done with the program before you start talking. That's like one of the hindrances, and those are the things that hindered us as well when we started. We are like that introvert. We don't want to talk. We just keep building. It's just between we and our laptop and all of that, and we don't want those things to happen to you guys, right? So talk about what you do. Sell yourself out there. Somebody should know. Like Cohort 1, one of the students, right? He sent me a message. He sent me a DM that one of the projects they did, cybersecurity I'm talking now, one of the projects they did, he did it and someone saw the demo and he's even offering for a gig. Like he's a student 3 months in the program and he's already getting an advanced gig, right? So it's just you talking about what you do. Talk about it. You build a project, you do your assignments. Don't keep it in your system. I'm begging all of us in the name of God. If you keep your project in your system will not pay you. Your payers, they are online. People that will pay you for that project or that will see that project and like it and want to bring you to join their team, they are all online. So don't do it and store it on your project, on your system. So yeah, that's for Charles. So it's just to tell every other person too. We went through all of this route. It was not a funny route for us. We just want to build. We have good skill sets, but then nobody knows that even our friends, like our circle, does not even know that we can program, we can write code. That's how bad it was, because we were just doing it just like it was for fun, right? So please sell yourself. It's very important that you do so. Attendance, there is no attendance for today until you start your program, until the first first, second, third, until the first Friday of cohort 2. That's when we start taking attendance. So no attendance for now till you start fully. You are starting on the 1st of July. So when we start fully, we'll start taking attendance that Friday, right? So prepare yourself that you join our Variety Fridays, right? So yeah, Josephine, do you have any last word for them before we close up?
Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity, AB. So my last word will be is learn a lot. Okay, it's like eating food. You know, gulp a lot of food, but at the pace at which you can eat. All right, but be very intentional about tech knowledge. The knowledge you have, don't pride. Don't do raga. Don't raise your shoulder and say, oh, I know this thing now. Keep learning, continuous improvement, because if you leave yourself, it's fast-paced. Like I said, the tech ecosystem is fast, very fast. A lot of things are happening daily. Things are changing. They're having tech fairs, speaking events all over the world. People are changing methods, fine-tuning things to make sure that the software, this SDLC lifecycle, it's beautiful. So please make use of this cohort. Like Abia said, we didn't have the luxury of cohort. I wish I'm not jealous. I wish we had the opportunity of cohorts. We went through the longer routes, okay? So the mentors, the facilitators you have worked so that you guys can run. So please take all the advantage you can. And I just want to see everyone at the top. Thank you, AB.
Yeah, thank you so much, Josephine, for answering to the call. I really appreciate this so much. We have been through the thing, and we have been through it. So thank you so much for answering this call. I trust that our students have benefited so much from your wealth of knowledge and all of that. So thank you so much. And also for every one of you, especially for the cohort 1 students, like I said, we are picking 200 students out for a project. So you can be anybody, right? It's based on your attendance and your grading, your attendance and your grade, your assignment and all of that. So for cohort 2, I'm putting this out that this is how we pick the best students based on attendance and the grades, right? So there are so many persons that put in the work, they didn't know what is waiting for them. So 200 of them, they are joining on that program for after the 3 months. So some persons will be done after 3 months, while 200 persons is joining another cohort. So for cohort 2 is an expo for you guys. So put in your best, make sure you are part of the first 30 to plus students for your cohort, so you can have that fun where we are going to be we are going to be training these guys on agile skills. They are going to work together in a team. We are preparing them for the market, for the industry. We don't want them to start going through those loops from courses from Coursera to Udemy, from Udemy to Show Academy, so many things out there. They want to groom them, right? So when they enter the market, it's as if they have been doing this for years, right? So that's the plan for this training. So please ensure that you participate in all our programs. Ensure that you join all our live classes, and trust me, we are prepared for for everyone. The cohort 1, they can actually attest to this. The tutors are prepared. I mean, they are putting in their A games. They are ready at all points to answer your questions. They are just awesome. I give it to them. For whatever we are doing here, I give it all to the tutors. They have been awesome. They have been brilliant. They have been doing so well. Trust me. So you are just coming to meet some set of people that are passionate about what they do, right? From the data science to the tutor, cybersecurity, back end, front end, products. The students can attest to this, right? They sing praises about, especially those days when we have our Variety Fridays where they talk about their experience. You will see them talking about their tutors and all of that. So we are prepared for every one of you, especially the cohort 2 students that will start July. So thank you so much. Don't miss our Variety Fridays. We are coming here again on Friday next week with another awesome speaker. Josephine have done justice to Agile Another tutor is coming to give us, another speaker is coming to give us something. I don't want to give you an expo. Just hold on till then. All right, thank you so much, guys. Thank you again once more, Josephine, for answering our call. God bless you. God bless you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Have a wonderful night rest. The link will be dropping tonight. Thank you. Good night.